And a regular feature in our Goodwill Games coverage will maybe show you how this thing has evolved. It's the Toshiba analysis, a way of looking at figures and statistics to tell the story of the way sports is constantly changing. Tonight, it's the evolution of the pole vault. And we look at it and we'll get a good idea. You could see the way it's gone dramatically, the rise, and it's been steady. Pole vaulters are inching towards the 20-foot barrier. The world record's 19 feet, 10.5 inches, set by Soviet Sergei Bubka in 1988. Technology has brought the 20-foot barrier down to earth and now made it approachable. Dutch Warmerdam used a bamboo pole to break the 15-foot barrier in 1940. The introduction of fiberglass poles around Larry's time now in the 60s caused barriers to come tumbling down in rapid succession. 16 feet in 1962, 17 feet a year later, 18 feet in 1970, and 19 feet in 1981. Bubka is the likeliest candidate to break the 20-foot barrier. The Olympic champion has raised the record 9 times since 1984. Bubka injured his back and won't be competing at the Goodwill Games. But countryman Radion Gataullin, who displaced Bubka as the world's top-ranked vaulter last year, already has cleared 19.9 indoors. Sergei Bubka's control of this event in the past 5 years has not been an easy winning streak to break, but his highly competitive fellow countryman, Gataullin, has worked fiercely to gain top rank. Some believe Gataullin, not Bubka, will be the first man to vault 20. So let's hear about his journey to the Goodwill Games in his own words.
My journey to the Goodwill Games began November 23rd, 1965, in Seattle's sister city Tashkent. It's a colorful city located in Uzbekistan and is considered pretty much the academic and cultural center of Central Asia. It's hard to describe the feeling that goes with pole vaulting, the feeling of flying over the bar. It's exhilarating when you set the bar at a record height and clear it. Until last year, I had to make time for both pole vaulting and my medical school studies, and it was very difficult. But since I graduated, I can devote more time to training. My nickname is the Mad Doctor. American vaulter Earl Bell gave me that name during the first Goodwill Games 4 years ago. Earl has provided a good example for me to follow. He's 35, 10 years older than myself, and still competing. I would like to keep vaulting for another decade. I would like to be the first man to vault 20 feet. It's not only a significant barrier for the Americans, because of their different system of measurement, but for us too. And it's hard to say when that mark will be reached. But every time I compete, I will be trying to attain it. I will be going for a world record.
Amazing. I love these journeys. You'll be seeing lots of them over the next 2 weeks. Remember, we got 2 full weeks to go of great Goodwill Game activity and action. Absolutely amazing. 20 feet. Who knows? Maybe tonight will be the night. Bob Neal, one of my favorite sportscasters, is standing by at Husky Stadium, home of the University of Washington football team, and the site of all of our track and field competition. Bob, tonight, could we see 20 feet?
Larry, that's a very good question, and some of the feeling among the track experts here at Husky Stadium, including our Dwight Stones, is conditions are very good, and the competitors are performing very well early on here at Husky Stadium. The crowd, by the way, is very into this. We have a large crowd and a very educated track and field group of people here, so they're finding the interest at a very high level in the pole vault. The world record in this event is held by Sergei Bubka, as Nick told you just a moment ago, at 19 feet 10.5, and they've moved over the 19-foot mark already with the bar here. It's up at 19.1 right now. Covering this event with me is Dwight Stones. And Dwight, let me pose this question to you that Larry posed. What kind of conditions do we have here tonight vis-a-vis this field and the chances for something really exciting to happen? You already heard a cheer right here, Dwight, as these competitors continue to clear higher heights.
Bob, the conditions are outstanding. There's a little bit of a breeze that will gust at times, and the vaulters have been waiting for the wind to go a little bit stronger at their backs. This field is not hurting with the absence of Sergei Bubka, lost to a back injury. He's resting up for the European Championships. Radion Gataullin, who we've just seen his journey, is jumping very well. He's only taken one jump. He opened the competition at 18.9 1/4. Now, a number of American vaulters are still left in the competition, and they are now jumping at 19.1, and they are really in deep competition here.
Well, let's have a look at the competitors remaining. As you see, there are 5 remaining, and Radion Gataullin has cleared at 19.1, and you'll notice missing from that list is American champion Earl Bell. He was eliminated early in a surprise, Dwight.
American champion Earl Bell. The wind was not gusting for him early on in the competition. He told me the runway was very fast, and if he could get some wind at his back, he'd have a much better chance of jumping well. But here on his third and final attempt at 18.3 1/4, he runs into the bar with his midsection, and he is eliminated from the competition, still leaving 3 American vaulters in this field. The bronze medalist from Seoul, Grigoriy Yegorov, one of many young 19-foot-plus vaulters from the Soviet Union. His first attempt at 18.9 1/4, and look at the daylight. Plenty of room to spare for Yegorov. His first attempt clearance 18.9 1/4. Now next up, Radion Gataullin, the silver medalist from the Olympic Games in Seoul. This was his opening height. The first attempt in the competition for Gataullin. And he clears with about the same amount of room to spare. Look at the hip height over 18.9 1/4. And you could tell that something was going to happen later. Now, American Scott Huffman, very short at 5'8", very fast. His first attempt at 18.9 1/4. He has a very unorthodox style of vaulting. Watch what happens when he comes off of the pole. His right leg goes up like a straddle high jumper from the 60s. His left leg goes around the bar like a trail leg of Valerie Brumel. He takes a couple of twists. I'll give him about an 8.2 on that jump. First attempt clearance 18.9 1/4 for Huffman. Bar was raised to 18.11 at that point, and Tim Bright, who is one of America's best decathletes, a 1988 Olympian and decathlon world record holder in the pole vault. His second attempt at 18 feet 11 inches. He's concentrating on the pole vault the last couple of years. Jumped 3 times over 19 feet last year, and with a slight brush, Tim Bright clears 18.11 on his second attempt. Time for his second jump of the competition. Radion Gataullin, the bar at 19 feet 1 inch just moments ago. Gataullin, tall, very, very strong, excellent speed on the runway. And he is flawless in this competition, having taken only 2 jumps, and that jump actually a better technical effort than his attempt and clearance at 18.9 1/4. Gataullin really putting on the pressure on the rest of this field.
Well, Dwight, already you heard the crowd noise in the background. They are cheering on these pole vaulters, and we're going to go down to the field level now, where Tim Bright, you just saw him in the highlights there moments ago. You see the pole vaulting pit there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Tim Bright is next up, and this is his first attempt at 19.1. And Bright is an appropriate name for this American youngster.
Well, there's no doubt about it, Bob. Again, one of America's best decathletes. In the 1988 Olympic trials, he finished the 1500 in a time comfortable enough to assure his spot on the team, and then went right over and started warming up for the pole vault competition. He finished 4th in that competition, just missing making the Olympic team. He jumped the same height as Billy Olson did for 3rd place. He jumped 18.8 1/4. And that shows you what kind of an athlete Tim Bright is. He's already cleared 18.11 here, and he is in the thick of a very heated competition here with Gataullin, Yegorov, and Scott Huffman. Bright waiting for a little bit of wind. It has gusted at times, but it's been rather mild throughout the afternoon. These vaulters use a tremendous amount of speed, even though they're carrying a 16.5 to 17-foot piece of fiberglass in their hands. And he's been using the most of the 2 minutes as he can to try and get a nice, strong, consistent, prevailing wind at his back. There is no wind-aided pole vault, so the stronger the wind, the more speed can be generated, and Bright is now encouraging the crowd here, a crowd of about 20,000, to get behind him on this very crucial attempt at 19.1, as the crowd also almost simultaneously cheers the walkers. Tim Bright underneath, something not quite right, may have changed poles, didn't quite plant correctly, and goes under the bar on his attempt at 19-1.
Dwight, 19-1 would be a personal best for Tim Bright. Of course, he'll have another opportunity. And Tim Bright decides not to go for it this time, but he'll have another opportunity. So, along with Dwight Stones, this is corner. Dwight Stones, this attempt is live, and Gataullin has gathered the attention of this crowd, to put it mildly.
There's no doubt about that, Bob. Second attempt. His first one was not close. And that one isn't either. Went under the bar. He cleared 19.5 to win the competition and has taken 2 unsuccessful attempts at the world record. He is looking very tired. Earlier in the event, of course, it was much warmer. There is no wind now, and he certainly could use as much wind as he could possibly muster. So these are going to be very, very difficult attempts at a world record. You can see here the technique was not so bad. He just didn't have the speed to bend the pole. And that's going to be a problem. Again, the wind is not blowing. And you will see here his feet just barely touched the bar, and his hips were nowhere near jumping that high. But this will better Sergei Bubka's world record, which of course would please Sergei Bubka no end. Radion Gataullin would love nothing more than to break.
Husky Stadium on the campus of the University of Washington. We're just moments away from Radion Gataullin's third attempt to break the world record. He is right now at 19.11 and a quarter. The world record is 19.10 and a half, held by Sergei Bubka. Dwight Stones is field side, and Dwight, let's follow Radion Gataullin. This is his third attempt at 19.11 and a quarter.
Well, Bob, his clearance at 19.5 certainly would have led people to believe that an attempt at this record height was possible. A clearance was definitely possible. Let's take a look and see after 2 very poor attempts. And he goes under on the third one. Again, I think there was fatigue involved, even though he had a reasonably good wind on that particular jump. I think that he is just simply tired. He jumped his best jump of the day at 19.5, a phenomenal clearance to win the competition, and he had to jump that height in order to win the competition because his teammate, Grigoriy Yegorov, posted an all-time personal best outdoors of 19.1 on his second attempt, a height that Gataullin had passed. So Gataullin had to jump 19.5 to win the competition. Actually, that clearance for Yegorov was at 19.3. And Gataullin will win the competition by virtue of his jump at 19 feet 5 inches. And I have to say, by watching that jump, the world record certainly could be in his future later.
So you got to look at the results there. Radion Gataullin is the champion of the pole vault in 1990 Goodwill Games. And let's go back to Larry.
Thanks, Bob. Behind me is Mrs. Gataullin. She is in Leningrad. Vladimir Posner and I will talk with her and the winner right after this. Don't go away. He's won the pole vault for the Goodwill gold medal. Radion Gataullin, and his wife, Mrs. Gataullin, a great athlete in her own right, is with us from Leningrad. Vladimir Posner is here as well. Her reaction, would you ask her?
Вы нас слышите, что вы почувствовали, когда ваш муж пытался бить мировой рекорд, но не совсем побил?
Вы знаете, это очень тяжело вообще смотреть. Лучше, по-моему, самой участвовать на
She felt like
соревнованиях,
she should jump. It was so difficult to watch her husband. She would have liked to have been there jumping.
Yeah, ask her to explain that. Is it painful?
А что на самом деле это тяжело, так сказать, вы чувствуете страшное напряжение в этот момент?
Да, очень. Если бы я могла чем-то помочь, а так сидеть дома и...
Yeah, to sit here and not to be able to help them is very hard. I wish I could be out there.
Why is she not here?
А почему вы не здесь, не в Сиэтле? Вы же ведь тоже атлет и очень известный легкоатлет. В чем дело?
Ну, я еще не такая сильная, чтобы выступать в таких соревнованиях.
I'm pretty good, but not that good. Not yet.
When was the last time she spoke to her husband?
Когда вы последний раз разговаривали с Родионом?
Это было в Москве 10 дней назад.
10 days ago in Moscow.
Does she think he can go 20 feet?
Как вы считаете, он все-таки может побить мировой рекорд?
Конечно, конечно.
Absolutely. No doubt about it.
Soon?
Скоро?
Да.
She said soon.
Pretty late.
Да.
Thank you. Okay, now her husband,
Имейте в виду, что
the winner,
сейчас
is,
ваш муж смотрит на вас. Вот, видите?
Okay, now they haven't spoken in 10 days.
И
We're
кажется, он
hooking him
будет
up
с вами
with you.
говорить. Вот, сейчас будет говорить.
Okay, congratulations.
Поздравляем вас, поздравляем.
Спасибо.
Thank you.
All right, now, when you tell him that his wife, there, he sees his wife.
Sure he sees.
They haven't spoken in 10 days. Okay, speak, go talk to each other.
Поговорите друг с другом, поговорите.
Ну как там дела в
Я тебя
Ленинграде?
поздравляю.
Ну спасибо. Как там дела в Ленинграде?
That's how things in Leningrad.
Все
Just fine.
хорошо, обнимаем и целуем.
Wonderful. We hug you and kiss you.
Спасибо. Я тоже. Я очень соскучился. Уже вот.
Because I want to see you. I really do.
10 days, hey, 10 days. Ask him the difficulty in clearing 1911.
Родион спрашивает, очень трудно вот все-таки добраться до этой высоты.
Трудно тренироваться. И когда тренируешься хорошо, то на соревнованиях обычно получается все нормально.
Because training was difficult. I had problems with training. If I trained better, I would have made it.
Does he like this stadium?
А вам нравится стадион, вот где вы сейчас? Хорошая дорожка. В общем, удобно там.
Да, все очень хорошо сегодня было.
Yes, a great stadium. Great.
When will the two of them see each other again?
Когда вы увидитесь с женой? Когда это произойдет? Через сколько
Я еду в
дней?
Москву 25 числа.
I'll be flying on the 25th to Moscow.
What kind of doctor is he going
26-го
to
буду
be?
только в Москве, поэтому, значит, увижу, наверное, 27-го.
So I'll see her only on the 27th, he says. I'll be in Leningrad. А вы учитесь на врача? Вы собираетесь быть врачом?
Да, я собираюсь.
Спасибо. Yeah, he's going to be a doctor.
Thank you both very much.
Спасибо большое. И
Congratulations.
поздравления.
Thank you, Vladimir.
You're welcome.
Let's go upstairs to the booth at Husky. Here's Bob Neal. Bob?
So, that's all?
Thank you, Larry King. That was a moving moment. The inject between the Soviet Union and Husky Stadium, just down below our vantage point here at the booth overlooking the track. It was Radion Gataullin, the winner of the pole vault at 19.5. Grigoriy Yegorov was second at 19.3, and Tim Bright was third at 18.11.